Ain't no half stepping with Marcus. Jay told you that'd be a quick break, but it's time to get into the end of the show. We got our rants and we got our closings. We always like to go around the room. I'll get to my thank yous in my moment, but I always like to start with our guest, and that guest tonight is Miss Toyana Girl. You want to say peace to anybody? What you got?
Yeah, I see that my daddy, John Wall, is on there. So, hey, daddy. Hope you're enjoying the show. But always, Marcus, thank you for having me, Big Rude. And Lady Shy, thank you so much, SY. And I just wanted to say I feel always home here, and just thank you for letting me, and I look forward for another opportunity. So, thanks.
We got it. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Keeping it moving. We're going to go on to my right side with Miss S.Y. Butler, closing out the show with her final thoughts. What you got?
I just want to say thank you too. Thank you to my mommy for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for all our listeners. Next week, we're back to our healthy segment. And I think I have an idea what I'm going to do for the healthy segment, but I'm going to shock y'all with it.
Ooh, looking forward to that. They call that in the business, they call it a tease, y'all. Is that what that was?
That's me.
That's what it is. Ain't no half stepping. With Marcus J, it's time for my main man, Big Rube, and it's time for him to smash him. Big Rube, what you got?
As always, Big Rube, smash. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out, as I did last year and the year before that, to Nickelodeon. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. They did their Worldwide Day of Play. And on the Nickelodeon screen, it just said, Nickelodeon's Worldwide Day of Play, go outside and do something. And to me, even though it's one day, so instead of them kids sitting around watching cartoons, hopefully their parents kicked them out the house and made them go do something. But, they probably just turned to another channel. But by the fact that they do that, I think that's impressive. And with that, it's one of those things. Today, I think I'm going to open up a little bit about myself. Some people know this and some people don't. And it's really a bad thing going around, the country. A lot of people are affected by this. And I don't think people understand why they are. So, I'm going to use myself as a vehicle to help people understand and hopefully get better at it. A lot of children don't like this. They suffer from claustrophobia. And it's one of those things where it's really tough to deal with. Sometimes it reaches into adulthood, and it doesn't deform you or anything. It's just one of those things that makes you feel kind of uncomfortable. And I would like to say that I have, claustrophobia, and hopefully, I can do something about it. Now, most people who have this disease already knows what it is. Not really a disease, it's more of a fear. Claustrophobia is a fear of clowns. I personally am not a fan of clowns at all. Ronald McDonald is what it is. But if Ronald McDonald was in my face, I'd probably punch him. You go to the circus and you see the clowns, and I can remember turning my head and into my mom's lap and be like, I don't want to see that. Because realistically, clowns are always smiling, and in my opinion, that's very unnatural. Now, whether even when they're frowning, they're still smiling. That's not cool. It's just not. And a lot of people out there are probably laughing at it. But then, for every person that's laughing at it, there are probably two people who are beside them, or two people they know that it's like, yeah, that's not really that cool. They may be fake laughing, but it's not really that cool. Some find clown images to be quite frightening, and I don't want to be around it. I'm not going to sit and cry and run to the hills looking at a clown or whatever, but I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to take the long route, because that's not really cool. For me, I was okay until I saw the Stephen King movie It, when the clown popped out and stuff like that. And excuse my language, that shit really wasn't cool. Especially the part when you looked at the picture and you see the clown moving around the damn picture and nothing else was moving. Yeah, that shit wasn't cool. You know, but I did a little research on this. You know, because I know people were like, Big Rube's a fool, whatever. Nah, people, this is legit. You know, of the entire population who feel clowns, who are afraid of clowns or is unsettling, 20 to 30% of the population have claustrophobia. You know, and you can say what you want, but if you're talking billions of people, that means there are millions of people who don't like damn clowns. And you know, I know a couple friends who don't like clowns. And once again, the big clown thing, I'm not like, dude, don't come near me. I'm just like, if you surprise me, you might get punched in the face. You know? However, for me, it's a little different. You know? The clown doesn't really get to me. However, the thing that really gets to me, and I know laughter's going to happen. Some of my friends already know this. That Jack in the Box dude is scary. I mean, every time you turn around, the dude's got a different, I mean, his face, he's either smiling, or he's got a little O face, or really? I mean, nah, man. That's just not cool. I remember at work one time, of course, because I was dumb enough back in the day and told people about it. So I'm sitting at my desk, and they come in and laughing at me. And they was like, hey, Ruby, can you pass me something? I look at my board. They put a stupid picture of that guy on my board. I jumped back because, once again, excuse my language, that shit ain't cool. You know, there's a cure for it. It's just one of those things where you have to just sit there and you got to deal. It's like being afraid of heights or being afraid of dogs, which I am too. So it's, you know, you got to want to do it, you know, but realistically, most people don't do it because, so out of 365 days, you're probably going to run into a clown once, maybe twice. You know, you're probably not going to have a clown at your kid's birthday party because then you couldn't be there, or you beat the hell out of the clown because you might have a flashback or something. You know, it's just one of those things where people, you know, like the people here, they're kind of laughing about it, and they're just like, whatever.
I'm sorry.
But you don't have to apologize.
I'm not laughing.
You know, I'm used to it. Other people afraid of clowns are used to it. It is what it is. Hence, we don't talk about it. You know, that's just as bad as having a drug habit because you can't really tell nobody because they don't take you seriously until, you know, you ended up.
What the hell?
Hold on. Until you end up punching some clown in the face because they tapped you on the shoulder and they scared the piss out of you. It is what it is.
Clown today or something?
No. Look, I've been working on this for a minute. Okay. You know.
Okay.
This is not.
Do you smash, baby?
I mean, can I finish my?
Do you smash?
Yes, babe.
Finish my smash.
I'm sorry.
But look,
Smash it out.
I'm saying this to say, hey, look, people, we don't have to be afraid of clowns. You know, a lot of people have kids, and you know, you like once again, you may have a magician at your kid's birthday party, but your kid might want to see a clown do some balloon tricks or something, and you're kind of just like, you know, I ain't really feeling that. Yo, my advice to you is let your kids decide for themselves if they like clowns or not. You know, if they like clowns, then you just stay in the other room and chill with the dog or something. Watch some TV. Or maybe you and your boys can sit there and while they laugh at you because you're not outside with the clown, you just sit there and take it, you know. It is what it is. I'm just saying, look, there are millions of people out there who have this fear. You know, if you're not in that million, the 20, 30% who don't, I'm just asking you to just be, you know, perceptive to those people who do have the fear. Because it's not going to really change anybody's life. You know, you might have to come bail somebody out of jail.
What's your symptoms?
It's not a symptom. It's just like, it's just, I mean, it's not even about that. It's just like,
do you sweat?
I mean, do you like stuff that doesn't change your face and look at you like it's crazy?
I'm afraid of spiders.
Well, I mean, then you can't even talk. You bigger than the spider. And you afraid of the spider. You can't even talk about it. At least most clowns are bigger than the people who are there. I'm just saying. You know, back in the day, clowns used to walk on stilts and stuff. So clowns were like 8 and 9 feet tall walking on stilts. That shit ain't cool. And I'm just being honest.
Oh,
and y'all
Mommy.
laughing at it. Y'all laughing, and that's cool. And I expect this.
laughing?
I might
So I'm
laugh
prepared. I'm prepared to deal with it.
I'm gonna help you get through
But
that.
you know,
I don't think
have
it's
to
funny.
do that. I
I
don't
really
deal
don't
with
think it's
clowns, so that's how I get through it.
Okay.
But once again, you know, hey, look, I'm pretty sure there's a support group out there for you. I don't have it, nor will I ever
Find
start
one.
one. But look, don't let your. I mean, if your kids wants to see a clown, just let it happen, and then you try to deal with it as best you can. All I'm saying is, it's not the end all be all. We don't like clowns, and I think people need to really be more supportive of those people who don't like clowns. It's Big Rube, it's a smash, and yes, if you ever dress up in a clown outfit and surprise me, I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm out.
I guess I better
That's
not
Big
wear my
Rube and that's
Bozo
a smash. And Rob, I agree, bruh. I mean, the whole time he's talking, all I want to do is shout out the names of those people that he just ranted about. And so, because you are listening, I'm not going to do it because I'm the host and I don't want to pick on him. We made a pact a long time ago not to pick on each other with each other's rants. So I'm not going to say that. But Rob says Pennywise. So those folks are giving me the blank stare. Google Pennywise and you'll see why that's funny. And I have Steppin with Marcus J. It's time for me to close the show with my rant and with my closer. Before I do that, I just want to get some thank yous out. Thank you to everybody that listened to us tonight. All the folks on social media, obviously we went way over. The show used to be 7 to 9. And then we was going to 9:30, and so the show then became 7 to 9:30, and here we are up in here.
We're moving it up.
10:30. We can't seem to get the hell out of here on time, but we do this because we see the lights are still on. Y'all still here, and y'all still listening to us. We love y'all for that, for real,
Thank
because
you. Thank
we
you.
really can't do this without y'all. There's the listeners of Ain't No How Steppin with Marcus J and all of the shows here on Legacy Internet Radio is why we do it. So I want to give a special shout out, and then I know there's a lot of people here in social media listening to us. I just want to drop a few names: Steven, Scuba, Said, Joy, Rob, Will, Priscilla, K. White, Charisma, and Ben. I want a special shout out to all of you guys for listening to us tonight. Everybody that listened to us across the country. We had some listeners in Arizona. We had some people down in the ATL listening to us. K-Dub as well. Special thanks to him. So I want to go ahead and just kind of cite the listeners, the shows that we have here. Ain't No How Steppin with Marcus J, my show, our show. The flagship show, Live in the Den, every Monday night from 7 until we get the hell out. Replayed every Friday night. And then on Tuesday, we got in Live in Radio with Steven Sykes and Mr. LP and Mr. Sincere every Tuesday. Wednesday, the Green Room version 2.0 with Jay Grizzly and Lissa P. From 7 to 9, that show is going to be live this Wednesday. I'll be in for Jay Grizzly, so if you want to hear me and Lissa P do that show, definitely make sure you tune in. Thursday night, we got Did They Just Play That? The music only show that I host. Last week we did New Edition. We played tracks from the whole crew, so that's the kind of show that we got there. Saturday night, we got Deep House Sessions with your girl DJ Renee Melendez, who also called us up earlier, so give her a shout out as well. So we're definitely glad you guys are still with us. It's time for me to get into my rant and in my closing. And so I want to kind of speak a little bit about my experience this weekend. I know that some of the listeners know we have been running promos for the last couple of weeks about Jersey City Fashion Week. We had Priscilla Pender, who is the director of operations for Strike a Pose, as well as the awards coordinator for Jersey City Fashion Week, and they asked me to be honored, and so that took place this weekend. And so I want to personally thank the folks in Jersey City Fashion Week for thinking of me for that grand honor. Special thanks goes to Deisha Jackson as well as Priscilla Pender. I want to thank them both for thinking of me. I want to thank my entire family that came out, my brother, my sister-in-law, my nieces, my nephew, my best friend Damon came out, my best friend Melinda came out. I had cousins that came. Special thank you to my little sister whose birthday was yesterday. So I want to say special thank you to my little sister. Love her. And I forgot to say her name while I was on the stage, so I'll definitely make sure I give her some love. Now, special thank you to my wife and my daughter for being there with me as well. As great as my family is, I also have a lot of love to share with my Legacy Internet Radio family. I wouldn't even been on the radio radar for Jersey City Fashion Week had it not been for those people, at Legacy Internet Radio who actually are here holding me down. So I want to recognize Big Rube, Calm Banks, Jay Grizzy, K-Dub, Lissa P, Tony, JR, Charisma, SY, Brandy, Steven Sykes, Mr. Sincere, Toyana, and DJ Renee Melendez. When I was a young dude, I always wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be in the media, and I thought it would be, cool to do that. I had two things I wanted to do. I wanted to be on TV in the media, and also wanted to go to a black college. Okay, so I get to a black college here in Richmond, Virginia, Virginia Union University, and I got so homesick within the first month that I was ready to go back home to Jersey City. And I even went so far as to apply to schools back home, and I even got accepted to a bunch of them. But somebody told me, stick it out, man, just stay there. So that's what I did. After a few weeks of coming back down here, I had a chance meeting that led to a field trip at BET, which we talked about earlier, and got there, met Donnie Simpson and a lot of the people who were working at BET in the early 90s when I was in school, declared my major, and found myself kind of on the fast track to being on TV and the media, just like I thought. Graduated from school, applied to a bunch of places, but for me, a life dream of being in the media just didn't actually work out. But about 20 years later, my friend Jay Grizzy presented me with the opportunity to do a weekly radio show with him and Calm Banks and Big Rube. So obviously the rest is history. We were off. We worked that show and other shows until we came to that crossroads where we decided, do we continue to work for someone else or do we create our own? Well, we decided to create our own. We decided that independence is the key to building your own legacy. So in March of this year, Big Rube and I founded Legacy Internet Radio, fulfilling a dream that we both shared separately in two different states as youngsters. Dream of being part of the media and the larger dream of actually owning something for ourselves. We went from broadcasting our single show 2 hours a week from Ruben's kitchen to now broadcasting shows from our studio 6 days a week. We almost gave it up, but we didn't. We leaned on each other, we followed our passions, and we reached our goals. And if we can do it, anybody that's listening to us, y'all can do it too. So definitely make sure that you never give up on whatever dream that you may have. If you got something you want to do, work at it, but never, ever, ever give it up, even if it takes you 20 years to realize your dream. I'm proof positive that dreams never die, and I got that fighting spirit right there in my hometown of Jersey City. And I was honored, I was humbled to accept the award on behalf of my family as well as on behalf of my Legacy Internet Radio crew. It meant a lot to be honored, but it meant even more that that honor came from my hometown, which has always remained close to my heart. So as I end the show, I want to say independence is key to building your legacy. I also want to say peace to all the stars.
Yes.
I also want to say peace to all the stars.
All the stars.
And all the squares. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty, y'all. Those are words of Bob Marley, who y'all hear singing in the background. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Real quick health tip. If you want to keep from getting a bloody nose, don't talk trash to the dude that's driving from the passenger seat. I'm Marcus J. Be back next week. Peace.